Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed Ali. Now, I do want to thank you for joining us tonight on Real Talk here in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, remember, viewers, my office, my studio is in Shogunas. We are on the Caroni Savannah Road in Shogunas. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us by calling our office 238-6716 or 339-1670. So viewers, as we start off our program tonight, I do want to say a special good night to those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali page. Like and share as we go live. Remember, we keep you up to date with incidents that happen in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, as the news breaks, viewers, as the news breaks in Trinidad and Tobago, it is on our page. So feel free to like and share our page. Encourage your friends and your family, your co-workers, your neighbor, even if you're traveling in the taxi, the maxis, the buses, encourage them to like the Real Talk with Saieed Ali page. And those of you on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed us yet, feel free to do so. TT Real Talk, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Now, viewers, we are also on Instagram at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Now, remember, it is Wednesday night. It is public concern night. So you can also email your concerns, whether it is the drain, the road, the councillor, the MP, the drugs, whatever it is that is taking place in your community. You can now email us at realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will be glad to highlight your concern on our Wednesday night features of Real Public Concerns. So we're dealing with the issues in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I do want to thank you for joining us. Feel free to call your friends, call your family, tell them Real Talk with Saieed Ali is going live. Now, I have my food drive for the single mothers in Trinidad and Tobago with children. Now, when you make a contribution of $1,000, you can have the chance to go home with a BMW. Yes, viewers, a BMW. Now, where in Trinidad are you going to get a BMW M3 Sport, fully loaded in top condition, now doing 70,000 kilos for $1,000? Where are you going to get that? Now, you all know I had my BM for sale for $150,000, and I have decided to give it to the public for a contribution of $1,000. You could go home with this. Now, if you decide to sell the car, that is up to you. That is up to you. Because as soon as we raise that $250,000, the winner will be published right here on Real Talk. You would see me pulling that ticket, that little chip with your name on it, and I will be mentioning it on television. Now, viewers, you know transparency is something I love. I love to be transparent with the public. So you all would know it's not no smart man thing here. I'm not of that. So, as we start off tonight, those of you who invested in the drugs, feel free to call in. Let me hear how much money you have lost and how long have you lost your money. And if you encourage your friends and your family to go and place money in it also with a huge return. So we're starting off our program tonight 2 weeks after police raided the drug Susu headquarters in La Hoquita. Owner Karen Clark reached out to Police Commissioner Gary Griffith through a confidential informant. So they high up, he reached through to the commissioner through a confidential informant. Now, Clark has provided, or he has previously asked for freedom and immunity in exchange for exposing crooked police officers and soldiers who have been involved in the DSS operation. So which means he is negotiating now. He realized the water is bubbling more hot. So he have decided, if you give me this, I will give you that. You see where it reached now? It reached them to a negotiation. He also provided a list with all the names of police officers and soldiers, as well as former government minister and 2 sitting MPs that have some involvement in putting money into the DSS. Now, like I said, I am thankful that the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, is out of the country. I am glad, because I will tell you something. Where the Barbadian police is in Trinidad, and the Royal Police from England is in Trinidad. Now, let's just say this report went to the Commissioner of Police and he failed to act. The Minister of National Security and the Prime Minister, who is the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago, would have been on the Commissioner of Police's neck for not moving swiftly enough. But let me tell you something. God is good. God is good. So tonight I am saying, thank God the Commissioner of Police is out of Trinidad. So they wouldn't have to hang him up on a cross. You know how recently they wanted to nail him up on a cross? God work in mysterious ways. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Okay, what happened, Saeed, is that, which I call him from Rich Plain Road in Dego Martin.
Rich Plain, welcome to Real Talk.
Right. What happened is that they just paved the road.
Uh-huh.
And what happened, they put the homeboy and then let the speeding. After this evening, my grandson nearly get bong.
Wow. So they need speed hump on the road?
Huh?
They need speed bump on the road?
They put back none. But
Okay.
it was smooth and never let the real speeding boy.
Thank you, my friend. I am sure the councillors in the area are hearing your plight. So viewers, just imagine. Now, nothing wrong with Karen doing his thing. Nothing wrong with that. That's his business. Okay. Nothing wrong. But what about the citizens now who have invested thousands of dollars in this DSS, Susu, and cannot get back their money now? What is going to happen to these individuals? You have decided, or you have shared a list with crooked police officers, with soldiers, with MPs. But the thing is, the police officers, the soldiers, and the MPs, they did not lose their salary. They did not lose their hard-earned cash. It's good that you came forward and you provided a list. So if these crooked police officers were involved in this, which means you were paying these these officers, this DSS organization were paying off officers. So do you think the organization together with the officers should be facing the prison? This is a question for you to understand, for you to answer. Think before you talk. Think clearly before you talk. Now, the officers now could charge this individual for attempting to bribe an officer. That is one charge. That is one charge. In reverse now, we have a crooked officer who is taking bribe from a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. That's our next thing. That is our other thing. And we have MPs now involved, because he said there are 2 sitting MPs involved. 2 sitting MPs. On which side? On which side? Now you're asking for immunity. You're asking for pardon. But you're paying the officers. The organization paying the officers. They're paying the soldiers. Now that it is blown out of proportion in Trinidad and Tobago, citizens have lost their money. What about these citizens? A lot of businessmen contacted me, Saeed, we want you to invest in this, 9,500. Make an investment. I say, who, me? Who, me? The only investment I'm making is if I buy a car to sell over, or I buy a property with a house and land to sell over. That is the only investment I'm making. It's legal, it is above board, and that is where you would find me. Transparency, above board. So what about these individuals now? All these millions of dollars they find, are they going to refund the citizens who lose their 500, their 3,000, their 9,000? Are you going to refund these citizens their money? Because I will tell you something. When a man invests 10,000 or 9,500 and I can't get back my money and my little son crying for milk, believe me, reality is in Trinidad and Tobago. The man who take my money, he going and pay. I don't know where you go, where you going to get back my money, but I need it. You cannot tell me the thing crash. You said to me, anytime I want my money, I could get it back. So now I want back my money. Don't tell me about it crash. I want my money. What's going to happen in Trinidad and Tobago in the weeks to come? That's something for all to think about. Think about it. If we see a spike in murder in Trinidad and Tobago, and you hear talk start circulating, well, you know, he was a member of DSS, and he take money, and then this one lost 50,000, and that one lost 100,000 because it's big returns. What are we going to do? What we going to do now as citizens? We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing. We didn't cause the murder. So as we move along tonight, call good night.
Good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Concerns. And this DSS business, how am I thinking? A couple of days ago, this issue in Parliament, right?
Yeah.
And the goody jumped out from Gary. Gary said there was no MPs involved in it. How come in the newspaper today he's alleging that ex-ministers and MPs might be involved? You know what is of public concern too? You know, it have a minister, aka small pin, like to go to Parliament and say MPs, the opposition members, as basically communicating with. You know those kind of characters?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Right. But he's saying nothing about it.
Nah.
And I hear the opposition leaders say the Prime Minister should foster an investigation. You realize? Quiet.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, these are some points that you should think about. Think about it. Now, rolling gears. Education Minister Dr. Nayan Gasby-Dolly met with the Register of CXC and his team to discuss in detail the numerous queries made on the 2020 CSEC and CAPE results. As of Tuesday, the number of requests for reviews from Trinidad and Tobago students for CSEC was 2,352, while CAPE was 3,325, a total of 5,677. Students who are in the process of making individual requests for review of their CXC grades would have declined, which is a deadline, which is the 6th of November 2020. So the Ministry of Education noted that they would continue to monitor the progress of the review process in accordance with the committee made by the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's just wait and see how that would roll. Let's see what will come out of it. So we're moving along now to Rambarat on agriculture. I love to talk about this gentleman, you know. Serious, I love to talk about this man. Agriculture Minister Clarence Rambarat says TNT has the capacity to feed itself and enough land to boost food production for export. Remember when our Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago said that we do not have land for agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago? Remember I was telling you all that? For those of you who heard him said that, keep this in mind. Rambarat was appealing to the entire country to support local farmers as we have enough food to feed the entire country. So listen this. Rambarat is a senator and also the Minister of Agriculture. His leader is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley. Now, Dr. Rowley came out and told the nation that we do not have enough land for agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. Now we have the Agriculture Minister saying that we have enough land to boost food production for export. So are we the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Are we dumb, stupid, or dotish? I am asking you all. Are we dumb, are we stupid, or are we dotish? Agriculture Minister saying we have land to plant agriculture to export, while the Prime Minister saying we don't have enough land for agriculture. Are we playing a game of monopoly? Are we playing a game of monopoly? Rambarat stated that it is not about $4 billion or $5 billion for import food bills. It is about supporting our local farmers. Now, Mr. Rambarat, my question to you, for the last 5 years in Trinidad and Tobago, what did the agriculture sector receive? How many farmers got help in the last 5 years? We ain't talking about the 5 years to come. We're talking about the last 5 years. Can you keep a press briefing and come out and tell the nation what farmers received for the last 5 years? Come out and tell the public. Keep a briefing. Well, you know what? 100 farmers, they got $10,000 or $100,000. Put a print in our daily press. Come out in a media briefing and say something. You see, transparency is something that the citizens need. This is what we need, and this is what I will always continue to stand firm for. All I feel is joke. I feel is joke. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my dear.
Caller from Sandy Grande, right? I'm just calling to find out what about your hunting season now?
Well, I will have to call the minister. I've been trying to get in touch with him. I have been trying, but I know being a minister and a senator, you're busy. But I will try back with him tomorrow again, and I will find out what is taking place. But my dear, I want to believe strongly that close friends of our health minister, they are in fasting, because now is the Hindu festival. Very soon, I believe on the 14th of November, will be Diwali. Navin, on the 14th? Correct. On the 14th of November would be Diwali, and I want to strongly believe that the minister friends, they are fasting. They are fasting. They don't want to go in the forest. You know, we respect the religion. I give my full respect to the Hindu community and wish them all the best in their fasting. But there are other people who wants to go in the forest. Seeing that I am affiliated with the sport, the health minister, I don't know if he does eat meat, because we heard a minister he's a vegetarian, but he eating meat part-time. He's a part-time vegetarian. Remember when we had the discussion with Rambarat? So I don't know if the Minister of Health is also fasting. And you know there's a thing they say first, the early bird, they catch the biggest worm. So I don't know that if they don't open the season, nobody going in. And when they open it, their friends will go in and catch the biggest animal, the biggest lap, the biggest tattoo, the biggest deer. You know, friend thing now. I strongly want to believe that. So as we move on tonight, I'll try my best to get in touch with Rambarat tomorrow. Rolling on, $55 million on apple and grapes. Minister of Finance, hey, I'm reaching on to a point this now. All of I want to know if all the minister looking is just for we have millions dealing to tax. But all of I know the reason why I say that just now. Minister of Finance, Colin Imbert, have stated that some 55 million worth of apple and grapes are imported in TNT annually. Keep your mind on 55 million. Keep your mind and just hold it there. He was speaking at yesterday's Senate. Imbert noted that he asked, listen to this carefully, he asked Custom and Excise to tell him what is a CIF. CIF, C representing cost, I representing insurance, and F representing freight. What is the CIF value of apple and grapes imported into TNT? He said it cost 55 million.
Let me deal with some facts with respect to apples and grapes. I asked the Customs and Excise to tell me what is the CIF value of apples and grapes on an annual basis imported into Trinidad and Tobago. You'd be surprised, Madam Speaker. $55 million.
So now viewers, this will give you the heads up that the government is looking at everything that costs over millions of dollars to put a tax on it. To put a tax on it. That is what they are doing. So hence the reason why now you have to pay tax for apple and grapes. Because they want to see where the million dwells. So if we tax the millions, we go extract money. Let me tell you something. It's teacher teaching you all, educating you all tonight. It's public concerns night. So here's the reason why I decided to educate you all tonight. Now, he stated that imports were 55 million worth of apple and grapes. Approximately US $10 million. And that needs to be under control. They want to control the 10 million US, which will be 55 million TT. They want to put a control on that. We're talking about US. We're talking about millions. So they will control our US. Imbert also noted that all other luxury food mentioned, such as lobsters, strawberries, and other costs, hundreds of millions of dollars to be imported. So just now, you will pay tax on your lobster and on your strawberries. So I want to see now, when the grocery start, when the person who imported now, and the grocery, when Imbert put a price on that, and he put a tax on that, it will come more in the grocery. So if you're paying $50 for strawberry, you might have to pay $51. So if your grocery bill comes up $1,000 for the week, if it comes up $1,000 for the week, and on every item, or every pound in your item, you're paying 50 cents more. At the end of your $1,000, how much you're spending? A couple hundred more. A couple hundred more. So your groceries going up. All I keep in mind, I educating earlier. Imbert also noted that all other luxurious food mentioned, such as lobsters, strawberries, and other costs, hundreds of millions of dollars.
So we import $55 million worth of apples and grapes, almost $10 million US dollars in apples and grapes. And I think that is something that we certainly need to control, and I just pick that out. Because if I was to go into all of the other foods that we have mentioned, such as lobster, smoked salmon, strawberries, blueberries, and all these sorts of things, you would find that the import cost of these items is in the hundreds of millions of dollars, Madam Speaker.
So if you are just smoke herring, go and have tax on it just now. Go and have tax on it just now. Your blueberry, where you like to make your punch with, they're going to tax your punch now. They're going to tax your blueberry and your strawberry, so you can't make punch with blueberry and strawberry again. Well, I feel it's a joke. We like it, so we jamming still. No problem, we jamming still. So, he also noted that the price of 1 pound of grapes, or, my mistake, 1 pound of apple will increase by 43 cents, while grapes will be increased to 58 cents per pound. Grapes is about $20 a pound now. $20. If you're paying $20 for grapes, you will pay $20.58. Now in the street, you won't pay $28.50. You might pay $22 and $23. And when you see Diwali coming up, well, oh God, that's $25. And then Christmas around the corner, boy, grapes will look nice on the shelf, yes? It will look pretty on the shelf. When you hear COVID, 3/4 are we home still? Mommy, let me buy grapes now. And you hear your child start to cry. What's going to happen? You go slap the child in front of the public? Come on, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, wake up. His facts are hitting all tonight. I'm educating you all tonight. Ember stated that imposing VAT on apple and grapes will not create a situation where we would not have any available at Christmas time.
So I don't think that imposing value-added tax on apples and grapes will create a situation where we won't have any. And as the goodly senator indicated, we might go back to a time when we see them only at Christmas time. I don't think that's accurate.
Now, I want to correct the minister. When a man brings down a container of grapes, and automatically charges going up. When a man brings down a container of apple, and he have to pay more? So how that wouldn't affect anybody? Keep in mind it's 58 cents per pound. Per pound. So when you check up 58 cents per pound, and a man bring a 40-foot container full with grapes, how much he paid? How much he paid? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk, my friend.
Okay, great program.
Thank you.
I'd like to discuss two issues. One is the agriculture. Clarence Rambarat had said, and it was on the news day, that they were going to ease the restrictions on seed products coming into the country so people could plant. But that was the talk when COVID hit.
Yes.
But they decided not to do it, apparently. That's what it is, and people are very uncertain if it is going on as a law to reduce those things or not. Because the rice farmers, a lot of the grain farmers, small producers, cannot get in grain to plant in the rainy season, which means in the dry season, you will have less food production. His inconsistency has basically made everybody confused. The other thing I'd like to discuss, like to bring up, is they talk about food production and the availability of land. Land is, Trinidad does have enough land to support food production.
Yes.
But what it doesn't have is the distribution of land to those who will plant food.
I understand what you're saying.
You have allotments, which is the local councils give small people who don't have, let's say a 5,000 square foot plot of land to plant. They don't give them this, but they give them a contract, at least for about 5 years or so, or 10 years, depending on the person in the area. So then those people use that land to plant food. And that has come from the war. When World War II was going on, they gave all these little spaces people to plant, which means that they have more food production from an individual. Because on a simple piece of land, you as an individual would plant more, and you would deliver more value from your little piece of land than sometimes somebody's big agri farming. So that is why there's another problem with food production, because the land distribution is one of the biggest issues. And if you go down to land division, you would hear that they have no land to give. No land. You would write letters to whichever, to the ministry, to the permanent secretary, all these people, no land to give. And they haven't distributed land, state land, to anyone in probably over 15 years.
Thank you, my friend. So you hear information, viewers? A lady called me today. She renting 5 acres of land for $30,000 a year. $30,000 a year for 5 acres of land. Imagine that. They renting land and they can't get land to plant agriculture. They have to rent it. So the person who have the land now, the owner of the land, they're not planting it, they're renting out the land. They're renting out the land. And all of vex when I say, after Rambarat, take back land, agricultural land from people who not planting and give it to the people who planting. All of vex would side for saying that. So I'm looking for persons of interest. Junior Maynard. Real Talk Debt Collection is acting on behalf of Ramos Corporation. Would you get in touch with me, please? Because the longer you take to get in touch with me, the more Trinidad and Tobago will know you're owing. And it will be bad business for you. That's the bad thing about it. When you fail to get in touch with a corporation, the public, they end up knowing that you're owing money. How sad. You think business is going bad for me? No, it's for you. It is for you. So viewers, we're staying on in boot. So we're going on to the importation of vehicles. Mr. Finance Minister, addressing the issues with respect to importation of vehicles, Imbert said that there are 1.1 million vehicles on the road today. He said there are more than one vehicle for every registered driver. How much vehicle does one minister own? And does one minister need more than one vehicle in his organization to move around? This is a question I pose to you, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So listen to this. He was speaking at yesterday's Senate meeting. Take a look.
We've also looked at the situation with the importation of cars. There are in fact 1.1 million vehicles on the road today, 1.1 million. And this is more than one vehicle for every registered driver. There are not as many as 1.1 million active driver's permits in Trinidad and Tobago today, but there are 1.1 million vehicles.
So I want to ask the minister now, how much vehicles is registered to ministers? How much vehicle do they have personally? Imbert also stated that there are too many cars on the road and that the term of importation cost US $400 million to import 25,000 cars per year. So you see where he going down to? Apple was 55 million, so he asked custom to give him a price so he could tax it. Importation of vehicle now. He realizes 400 million US to bring in 25,000 cars per year. So what he going to do? He going to cut down the age bracket. So the poor man cannot afford to buy a foreign user again. They can't. They have to buy some kind of 120 or that or 280 or something in Trinidad now. Because you cut off the poor man. Because vehicle price will go back up. It will go back up. Let's think before they do something. Let me tell you something. How many rich men are there to put all in power? While 75% of the lower class citizens in Trinidad and Tobago is the one under the breadline. You think 25% of the rich people in Trinidad and Tobago could put all in power? No. No. They can't. But according to the Prime Minister, we need to get the rich richer in order to create opportunities for the poor man. So why you can't create something that the poor man don't have to depend on the rich man? He could start something and become like a rich man one day to come. I have no idea what kind of sense all you have. So Mr. Mboti further said that this is now causing a serious leakage of foreign exchange. Take a look at this video.
So we are of the view that just too many cars on the road, and more importantly, these cars consume, in terms of imports, $400 million every year, 2.5 billion TT dollars. We import an average of 25,000 motor vehicles, 2/3 of which are private motor cars. And this is a serious leakage of foreign exchange. When one thinks about it, $400 million per year leaking out in the importation of cars in a situation where there's more than one car per registered driver in this country.
So I want to ask Mr. Imbert, on national television, are you putting a strain on the foreign used car dealers in Trinidad and Tobago to help those that sell new brand vehicles? How much money are they spending? How much money are they spending in US to bring in new vehicles to sell citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? So what you decide to do, you decide to cramp down on the foreign news. You decide to cramp down on the foreign news because the foreign news have more features than a new vehicle. They have more accessory than a new vehicle. So maybe some of your friends, just saying, maybe some of your friends who own big car companies, they came to you, hey, Imbert, you know, we're not getting the new car sell and the foreign news selling. So what you decide to do? What you decide to do? Cramp the foreign news. You see, I gotta tell you something. I don't have a foreign news place. But I will stand up for a businessman. I will stand up for a businessman who making $1. Think about that. So the foreign news dealers now, they cramp. They can't get US. But the new car businessman, they getting any amount of US they want, and they could bring in any amount of new car they want. So to the poor man now, if you can't afford a new car, buy a 120, buy a B13, buy a B11 Sonny, remain on the old ways. Boy, let me tell you something. I want to let you understand is Saieed Ali who is come at all you. And I coming at all you on national television. Why all I choose to turn the citizen's head, I will turn it right back around and open their eye. Let them look at all you. So listen, he went on to say that the government felt it necessary to increase taxes on the smaller cars in order to reduce the number of imports.
That we needed to increase taxes on some of the smaller cars in order to reduce the number of imports.
What is smaller cars? What is smaller cars? A smaller car is not a BMW, that's branded. A smaller car citizen is a filler wagon, a wing road, a Bluebird Sylphy where you could get for 60,000. Those are smaller cars. So you decide to increase the tax on the smaller cars. So the poor man cannot own a small car. Because if he cannot own a small car, you can't expect him to own a big car. Think about that. Think about it. It come like you have a kitchen. You decide to buy pot. Well, girl, you know, I can't buy this big pot, you know, because it's too much. I could only afford this small 8-centimeter pot. I can't go for this 20-inch pot. So now you come now, you realize the small pot selling and the big pot remaining. So what you decide to do? You raise the tax on the 20-inch pot, you know. You know where you raise the tax? On the 8-inch pot. So you kill them now from buying the small pot, and they don't can afford the big pot. I couldn't bring it more clearer than that to you, citizens. Couldn't bring it more clearer than that to you. Now you know my why. No, no viewers, that is why when I reach on set, I just yap my mouth. I just yap my mouth talking Trinidadian. I ain't born in a white man country. And I am a black man. Don't study the hair straight. I am a black man. So, as we go along tonight, I want to say a special good night to Anand Ramesar. I met him today. He visited me today. Anand Ramesar. Now, who is Anand Ramesar? He's a superintendent in charge of the Southwest Division of Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Mr. Ramesar is also the president of the Caribbean Federation of the Police Welfare Association. Where? No. He's the president of the Caribbean Federation of the Police Welfare Association in the Caribbean Islands, in CARICOM. Put him back up. Look how small the dude is. Just like me. He's just like me. But the weight he pushing, he's the president of the Caribbean Federation Police Welfare in the CARICOM. The CARICOM is where? Up the Caribbean. So the dude big. Even though you have a small body like me. The dude big. It was a pleasure meeting him today. You know, we sit down and we discuss one or two little things. When he came by me, he said, Saeed, this is you. I said, yes, it's me. He said, this is the man that come and see me? I said, yes. He said, one thing with you, Saeed. He said, you ain't afraid of nobody, you know? You over brave. I said, one man led thousands of people in the wilderness and caused a change. He said, well said. Well said. So, we have a call. Call a good night.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Go right ahead.
And good night to Trinidad. So I wanted to make mention, boy, is that if this minister take in consideration out of the 1 million vehicles on the road, how many contractors and big business owners own these vehicles that is registered? Hundreds they own, and it's the poor man you're trying to deprive now of owning a vehicle.
True.
And furthermore, we the taxpayers are the one that buying the multi-million-dollar vehicle for those ministers. And them trying to tell we cannot buy a car for a new vehicle for less than 100,000, but we should put all we had earned tax money in order for it to buy $1 million vehicle. How that could ever be right, boy? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, COVID-19 related death now stands at 106. Has occurred. 106 is a person under the age of 25. This was announced by Dr. Mariam Richards. She was speaking at this morning media conference. Dr. Richards stated that the patient had pre-existing health condition. However, she warned citizens that no one is immune to COVID-19.
Important to note that our last death, which was reported between the last media conference and this morning, occurred in a person who was under 25 years of age. While this was an exceptional situation and circumstance, and the person had pre-existing medical conditions, this is a warning sign to our population that COVID-19 strikes all persons.
Remember when the health minister said only the elderly? Only the old people, whether you is a male or you is a female, once you're ageable, you're entitled for COVID-19. What happened now? What happened now? Is that a head turn or a mouth turn? I wonder what he have to say now. Whoops! VAPS! Under 25. Whoops, all people alone, VAPS! Under 25. Where them? Where is them today? Now, as of today, There has also been one additional COVID-19 related death, which brings the total to 107. Now listen this. Listen this. As presented by the ministry in previous press conference, at least 48.5% of the total number of COVID-19 patients in Trinidad are those who suffering from some sort of sickness or illness, pre-existing condition. Caller, good night.
Sorry, good night.
Go right ahead.
You remember there was some used car dealers who was campaigning for the government for election. The same brothers who trying to say the government this and the government that today. And the other thing I want to mention is that how could the CMO sit down with the Prime Minister and agree that certain amount of people will go to the rivers and the Hindu people want to do the shaving, where they want to go, they ask to do the shorthand work now or what?
Thank you, my friend. So listen this. A nurse attached to the North Central Regional Health Authority, Keisha Provat Gomez, noted that the elderly are more vulnerable to contracting COVID-19. You all just heard a person under the age of 25 died with pre-existing condition. And I just played the video with Mariam. Now, she spoke about the importance of mask wearing and monitoring one's health.
Also, if you have susceptible persons living in the home, it is important that you wear your mask when social distancing cannot be maintained, and this is for even in the home. It is also important for individuals to monitor their health. So monitor for flu-like symptoms. If you have any fever, anything like that, monitor these things at home, because even persons who do not exhibit symptoms can spread the virus.
Now viewers, Ms. Keisha, she was speaking at the Ministry of Health virtual media conference today.
Elderly persons, as we know, would suffer with diseases such as heart conditions, diabetes, hypertension, and they are more susceptible to severe symptoms of COVID-19. As such, in order to protect them, we must first reduce and minimize them being exposed to the virus in the first place.
Now viewers, in homes with elderly persons, Dr. Gomez stressed the importance of getting vaccinated for the flu.
It is also important that individuals, everyone in the home, should be vaccinated against the flu. The flu vaccine cannot protect you against COVID-19, but it will protect against the regular flu.
She also noted that social visits should be limited, since family members may put the elderly at risk if they are not part of the same household.
I know that persons like to visit, but it is important to remember that we are in a pandemic, so social visits in the home, even with family members, should be limited or discontinued at this point in time.
Get your vaccine. Get your flu vaccine. I am also encouraging you, get your flu vaccine. So we're moving on to a little weapons now. Police raid. A Barapa man have been convicted and fined for the possession of a weapon. According to a report, on the 22nd of October, PC Batan and a team of officers, that is the officers from the Area East Crime Patrol Unit based at the Barapa Police Station, searched a house in Rocha Road in Barapa, where they found and seized a P. Davison 380 pistol. 30-year-old Avin Nataline, a checker with a job at a corporation down in South, was convicted and fined of $5,000 at the Princestown Magistrate Court on the 23rd of October. Now viewers, I would like to congratulate Sergeant Victor, Corporal Soliman and their team for doing a wonderful job in the area of the East Southern Division. That's a team, don't make joke, you know. That is a team that they don't play. If they tell you they come in, they come in. And 90% of the time, they wouldn't say they're coming for you. But I know some of the fellas them that works in that team, and that is a proper team. Caller, good night.
Evening, Mr. Saieed Ali.
My friend, go right ahead.
What does Mr. Imbert mean by using the word leakage? The people on them who is registered car dealers, they got tunnel under the central bank and thief money. The government of Trinidad and Tobago, this administration had removed the last tax on hybrid vehicles, which was VAT. And the PP they removed customs duty and motor vehicle tax, and this government removed VAT. But now he come and say, hey, them fellas and them bringing in real car, time to tax them.
Time to tax them.
The Paris Accord. And the Paris Accord is to try and reduce the emissions in the atmosphere. I want to ask the Minister of Transport that how many automobiles are inspected in the private garages in 1 year, and how many new vehicles / foreign news are brought into this country, because that 1.1 million vehicles are supposedly registered in the central bank, in the license office division. That is not a truthful number, because you know people are car park up in garage and they can't fix it again. It's a car park up in police station involved with some accident and
True. Well said.
That is in the database, but it's not driven on the road.
True.
That number is not the truth. It's not the whole truth and not the truth.
Thank you, my friend.
Understand?
Thank you, my friend, for the information. Now, let me tell you something. Well, as a Muslim, when they find a gun in a mosque, there's one to bad talk the Muslim throughout Trinidad and Tobago and through the world. There's one to label we as terrorists. We bad, we have gun, we have this, we have that, we have the next. So listen this. Officers of the Eastern Division Task Force have found marijuana at a church in the Matlock area. A church. Police executed a search warrant for firearm and ammunition at a home in Grand Riviere area. Officers received information which caused them to search the premises of a church directly opposite the house. Officers found 2.694 kilograms of the drugs in a crawled space at the rear of the building, which have not been used for quite some time. So somebody used it as a storage area. According to the police, the drugs were removed from the premises and taken to the Sandy Granny police station for safe keeping. I know the church and the mosque and the temple is a safe place. You could keep anything. But the drugs is in Sandy Granny police station for safe keeping. So whoever loses the drugs in the church, go to the Sandy Granny police station and get it. Claim it. It is rightfully yours. So we stayed on a little detention. Officers have detained 21 Venezuelans in Chatham, South Trinidad. The group, which includes 13 male, 4 females, and 4 children, were attempting to enter the country illegally via a beach in the Chatham area. Reports confirmed that around 6:45 a.m. yesterday, officers received information that an unidentified vessel was in the area. The group was seen walking along a track leading to an abandoned building. Upon intercepting the group, one man was relieved of a bag containing a 16-gauge shotgun. The firearm was seized and the group was taken to be tested for the COVID-19 virus and to be quarantined. This is Trinidad. We jamming still. Call her good night. You gone? What we gonna do, citizens?
Right? Came by me. I know him about 45 years. Came by me to buy an engine. He told me if I could drop the engine by the mechanic, and if the mechanic said the engine good, he'll pay me for it. When I dropped the engine by the mechanic, he put on the engine in the van, and he drive off the van going on air payment. Every day he telling me he could pay me. 2 months gone and every day saying you pay money, you pay me.
Call me tomorrow, 339-1670. Thank you, caller. 2 men, aged 25 and 29, were expected to appear before an Arima magistrate, charged on 1 count of sexual penetration of a minor and 1 count of abduction of a female. Reports from the 16-year-old stated that she boarded a PH taxi at 5 Rivers Junction in Aruca to be taken to her home. Both occupants were known persons to her as they lived in her area. Instead, the men reportedly took her to Victoria Heights, Aruca, where they allegedly forced her out of the car, held her down, and sexually assaulted her without her consent. The men are expected to answer charges. Now will you understand, citizen, why I push for the Sexual Act bill to be up and running in Trinidad and Tobago? Now you all understand why? We did it last year. So this year now, this year and next year, when sex crimes start to highlight and go skyrocket, we have something in place since last year for it. Caller, good night.
Yes, hi.
Go right ahead.
Yes, you're doing a good work. Keep it up.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
So viewers, keep in mind that I have my food drive that is taking place for the single mothers with children in Trinidad and Tobago. Please make a contribution of $1,000 and let's get together and help the single mothers. Hey, Socks! I'm still waiting. 2 weeks now you're coming and up to now you ain't reached yet. What are we going to do? You're reading my message. So I decided to call you out on TV. Somebody can tell you, Saeed, you need to get in touch with Saeed. Call me tomorrow now. So viewers, we are almost out of time. We have about 2 minutes left tonight. It gives me great pleasure to stand here every night to feed you information, to get you pregnant with knowledge. So tomorrow could be better for you and your children. Hence the reason why I put so much of passion into what I am doing. And I do thank my team. You see, I cannot do it alone. I need a team to work with. And when you treat your team proper, you will always get result. Not like it have some people who just want to backstab you. It just have some who want to backstab you, but nevertheless. Hey, talking about that, I hear some of my former workers and them who formed this group right when they was working for me, Trio.TT. They formed that group right in my studio behind my back. I hear they're doing counseling now. Consultation. Not counseling, consultation. So I know what kind of consultation they're doing. But a viewer of my show sent me a little post that they put up on Trio.TT page. They're doing consultation and they guaranteed result. They guarantee result. I don't know what kind of result they're getting, if it's medical, spiritual, words of inspiration. I don't know. But he sent me a little post where Trio.TT is offering consultations and they guarantee a result. Maybe somebody could call me and tell me what kind of result they get from them. The consultation I just do, I born spiritually gifted, so I will talk to your concerning spirits and bugging you. I give consultation with real estate because I am in the real estate business. That is me, that is Saeed. So any other consultation, I don't know what I'm doing. So when you hear you get some advice from them, and X, Y, and Z, feel free to call in and tell me, Saeed, they say X, Y, and Z, and they say so, and they say so. This is the same two people. One of them cost me $22,000 to build back a system, and the other person, the female, who does go live on Trio.TT, Let me tell you something. Christmas gone. Christmas gone. She consulted with my wife. And you know what they told my wife? Come here. They told my wife I horning her. That is the consultation. They consulted with my wife. Remember when I showed you all I bought a two-door sport BMW for my wife? They went on a live and called my wife a prostitute, treating she like a prostitute. That is consultation all I want. I ain't afraid to say it, you know. They were former workers of mine. I ain't afraid to say it. They consulted with my wife and tell my wife I wanted my wife. And for Christmas I spent over $275,000 in a two-door white sport BMW. I showed you all right on TV what I bought for my wife for Christmas. But nevertheless, the messages and the photo that they sent to my wife, I sent it for the general manager of Synergy TV so he would know what they did. That is why I could come here on national television and talk. You feel afraid? Let me tell you something. I have seen miracles that God did in my life. I have seen miracles. And there is nobody in Trinidad and Tobago and around the world to bring down Saieed Ali. Because I got to tell you something. The more you sacrifice and climb up the ladder, is the more people will criticize you. And is the more they will come after you. You see, they couldn't get me, so they're going at my wife. That's when my lawyer wanted to send them a letter. Saieed, you carry them to court. I said, nah, they may have nothing where you go take. You're wasting my time and you're wasting your time. Where you go do? But nevertheless, whoever won consultation, $3 or fine. I have no idea what they're consulting. So viewers, it was nice being here. It's Bacchanal Thursday. We have something in store for you. So until we meet again, keep safe, wear your mask, social distance on the outside, go get your flu vaccine. Ila zaramatura ila anta lamazor kaba ila unna sharra masuta. If you take care of yourself, God will take care of you. Sabauntu ruhuma elkada ulama. Until we meet again, viewers, stay safe, give God thanks. Allah zur oba illa. Good night.